Okay, I am back. I thought restarting my PC would not end the stream, but it did end the stream. So this is the Act 2 after intermission of the stream. And I got my iPad working again. At least I thought I got it working. Wait, no. Don't make me do that. Please work. Just give me a moment. I think it should work. Let's see. Yes, it does. Great. Perfect then, yeah. So I am back. I hope you have stretched your legs now and you feel relaxed. So let me start with the penultimate poem of tonight. And I hope to stretch this out to the New Year's. We still have like 30 minutes more and then this will end. Let me share the link of this stream with a couple of people. Might as well. Cool. I shared the link before anyone joins. I'll just finish up everything so I don't get embarrassed speaking this or reciting this poem in front of everyone. So this poem, again the title came to me before the actual poem, and the title of the poem is Am I Just That? This is a really long poem as well. I think it was like 6 pages. I don't know how I was able to write something this long, but I guess it's inspired by true events. I don't even know how someone would write something that is not inspired by some resemblance of reality. I woke up this morning after pressing snooze a few too many times. I was late, so skipped breakfast, so then I was a bit early, started a YouTube video on finding yourself. Yeah, that. A video on that. Got a bit lost, so I was late again. In a rush I tie my turban. Of course it comes out all weird and wonky. From the back, there, from this side. That. I hate that. No time, I was running. Actually just fast walking. Because running when you're 24 is embarrassing. Way too embarrassing. Then everyone around me who are obviously always looking would know what a careless fool am I with my time. They would look at me running and then stopping to gasp, then run again, and with every avoidable frantic step they would look at me and my low-hanging backpack spanking a grown man for his pathetic daily morning act. It's then, as I lock eyes with the bus driver of the bus I just missed, I quietly ask myself, am I that? Am I someone who rushes towards the finishing line only to stop scared when it gets too close? Am I that? Someone who almost succeeds then sabotages and does that over and over again? That? Am I someone who's that? Just that? At last I reach where I need to be, albeit a little panicked, a little embarrassed, and a lot out of breath. I walk to my student, conscious, trying to catch a glimpse of my reflection to fix my turban right there. That. I still hate that. No time to think, no time to fix now. I sit next to my student, taking awkward sips of my water bottle to give myself time to think before I speak. But the anxiety supercharges me, and then I pour all that I know and spill off all what I don't. I teach honestly and vigorously. I teach politely and passionately. I teach to be alive. I teach till dead. I teach the paths I walk. I teach the paths I stopped on before I crossed. She eventually leaves, and I sit with dead eyes, listening to the silence after the storm. Someone else was listening to the storm I brewed and the silence too. Are you someone who likes math? He then asked me that. Are you someone who likes teaching that? Are you that? Just that? I ran, of course, to my second job, too late to be embarrassed of running now, followed by a strange smell of epiphany. She sat next to me, making me whisper to me, "Are you that? What the guy said you were, that? Are you that? Just that?" There was no time for an answer, there never is. I get distracted by some commotion. An old lady who reminds me of my grandma, if she were me, wants to get off the bus. She has a note and timid like me. She doesn't speak the driver's language, and she's conscious looking around the bus like me. Her eyes desperate for help she's not asking for, like me. I look around waiting for someone to finally get up because she clearly needs help, and I know she won't ask for that. That? Am I someone who just simply sat? Did nothing, just that? Am I that? Because I am not someone who nervously got up, talked to her, told her the way. I am not someone who panicked and thought she might get lost again, jumped off at her stop. I am not that who tapped her shoulder, smiled and asked what she's got on her chit. I am definitely not that who became her translator for the day, shouting into her barely vibrating ear, "BG, I am here now, it will be okay, only a few more minutes, then the doctor will come right away." Are you her grandson? Are you that? No, not that. A nephew then? A caretaker perhaps? That? No, not that either. No, not that. Fine, a friend then. It caught me off guard when the doctor said that. Friend. I'll just write that. Am I that? Am I a friend to a shy old lady who, like me, would never bother anyone even on the way to their deathbed? Am I a friend to a sweet old lady who lost all her hearing in her right ear for more than a year, and when the morning her other ear went quiet too, she bothered not her long widowed daughter-in-law or her grandkids my age who lost their grandpa a few months back? Of course she didn't do that. Not even a little help, not even that. I frantically give her her eardrops, fumbling to write a note translating the doctor's prescription and something more as I once again make eye contact with the driver of the bus that was growing faster than I could write. She takes that, half complete. She takes that, puts her shaky hands on my head, thanks with her smile and says, "Your turban? I like that. There, that. I like that." Baffled, bewildered, blushing and glowing before my heart could catch up to my brain, she was gone, the half-finished note too, and I had forgotten to put my name or my number on that. I laughed a single laugh. And you know what? I am someone who would forget that. I am that. And I am not just that. Yay. So yeah, this is this poem. I guess I can give you a little bit of the inspiration of this poem and the lines that were much more impactful, that are much more impactful for me. Obviously this line in the first part of the poem where I say that am I someone who rushes towards the finishing line only to stop scared when it gets too close, and this paralysis or this self-sabotaging that does happen in my life many times, and it feels like it's unavoidable. And then obviously the perfectionist shows up here again as well, just little things on my turban that I don't like for the day, which makes me conscious. stuff like that. The second half is about teaching, which I am also passionate about, and but I never felt like it was part of my personality as much as something that I just simply do because I like doing it, not because I identify as someone who is quote unquote a teacher. But yeah, again, the question that then someone asks me, are you someone who likes math? Are you someone who likes teaching that? Are you that, just that? There's always the just that part after the exploration of a facet of my personality, I guess. And again, this is a culmination or a combination of a bunch of different events that I've put together in one chaotic day, which is not far from true. But yeah, this incident here with me teaching happened on a different day than this incident, which again is true of this old lady who needed help. And again, I was like, anyone but me, I'll be great. But then no one got up, and I was like, no, I have to help. And I was again conscious of the eyes that were looking at me, which obviously there was no one looking at me. Yeah, and it's all true that this lady had lost her son, I think, in a cab accident 10 years back, maybe more. And then only a few months back, she also lost her husband, and she did not want to bother not her grandkids or her daughter-in-law, who was taking care of everyone at that time. And then she was like, let me just go to my family doctor, and the family doctor was not available that day, and the receptionist there just gave her a note of an emergency clinic. And then she was trying to make it to the emergency clinic, which she had no idea which bus to take or which stop to get off at. And then yeah, she had it written on a chit. The last part of it is bit of a creative, it took some creative freedom here. But what had happened was that I took her to the bus stop, and she asked me to write my name and my phone number so she could in the future, she tried to pay me, but obviously I was like, I'm not taking any money, of course. She was like, but I need to cook you something. I was like, you know what, I will cook you something, but you invite me and then I'll cook it for you. And I asked her what her favorite dish was. I really like to cook for people. And then she was like, okay, just give me your phone number and your name on it, and then I'll call you or text you. I was like, yeah, let me do that. But I had forgotten my backpack in the clinic, so I was like, let me just quickly go back and run and get my backpack. I went back, I got my backpack, and as I was coming outside, I saw the bus, which just scooped her away. It's like, oh no. I don't even remember her name. I only remember her last name on her health card that she gave me, which I gave to the receptionist. And for some reason, I think her first name was really common, so I've totally forgotten what her first name was, but her last name I remember still. And I have no idea no way to contact her anymore. And yeah, it was a curious little encounter that I had. And as I mentioned earlier as well, many times the last lines or the last paragraph of the poem is where the healing happens, or where the growth is, where it challenges the one who is writing it. So hey, that's that. Am I just that? Or am I not just that? Am I more than that? I don't know. Now the last one is perhaps the most personal one, but also the most how do I describe this last one? I don't know. I might as well just read it, and it has all the emotions that I want to convey. The title alone, again, for me, titles come before the poems or the essays, and the title alone is haunting enough. The title is, what's your dad's favorite color? This question cuts the room cleanly into ones who just answered the question in their heads and ones who, like me, could not. What I hate more than not knowing the answer is having caught the stray bullet that is this question that one unholy neuron firing and hitting and sinking my heart. Life was happier, ignorance was bliss, but now the electric blue toothpaste is out, and I, the cursed one, to have stepped on the tube. My father? He's gentle like an evening sun, living all shades of reds and oranges. Like the cushiony, dewy green grass I'd fall on intentionally to stop him from scoring the goal. He's vast like the shimmering silver dotted in my night sky. I'd watched the stars and each watched their reflection in my eyes. I was his life, he became but a part of mine. Blue, purple, and the dying violet, those are my least favorite colors. Colors that his face turned before he mumbled his last goodbyes. Saying nothing, I ran, silent like a dead lamb. I stood at the front gate waiting to fight the god Kai, while praying his prayers to the shivering, shaky sky. I fought hard, and I fought death. He survived, and the sacred secret was kept. Standing was me then, sitting here I am now, writing a goddamn poem in a language he cannot reach because I am too ashamed and embarrassed to not know the favorite color of the bravest little dad, my bestest of friends, the shadow who colored my life. I am so fucking scared to ask him this and ask him now. Now he can be forgetful, not remembering the grade his kids are in on the way to the parents-teacher meeting, not knowing the names of our best friends, and we'd leave no chance to tease and poke at him endlessly, laughing and giggling while he took it all with an awkward, patient smile. The dad may be forgetful, but the boy in him is still waiting to tell someone his favorite color, tell someone who would care. I'm afraid I wasn't alone when death struck his door. He shook her hand and made a deal that day. Please let me live. I have a secret to share. So excuse me, I have to ask my Pitaji what is his favorite color and so much more. I think the summary of this poem is just the title itself. What is your dad's favorite color? Or what is the favorite color of people who we claim to be close to, but not really. We take the relation for granted. And especially with this line, what's your dad's favorite color? It is true that we would often make fun of him for not knowing details about our lives that a father should obviously know, and it's not just like our dad, it's common for all the dads to not know like what's the names of their kids' best friends, or how old they are even, or what's their birthdays, and it's always the mom's duty to always know these kinds of things. But we never stop to ask ourselves, do we know who's our father's best friend? Who was his best friend at school? What's his favorite color? And again, it's not about just knowing the color. It's about the color and so much more. Thankfully for me, I now know the favorite color of my father. I know the favorite color of my mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, my sister, my brother, everyone. I know their favorite colors now after having written this poem. And it's such a curious and beautiful coincidence that I have this line here, please let me live, I have a secret to say. He made a deal with death, and I was a little embarrassed of asking him his favorite color, so I just called my mother and asked her favorite color, and she put the phone on speaker, and then I was like, who is sitting next to you? She was like, your grandparents are sitting. So I asked my grandfather and then my grandmother, and then he just out of nowhere, he just shouted his favorite color without even me asking him. He was like, oh, my favorite color is yellow, and it has to be mustard yellow specifically. It's like I could have never guessed that would be his favorite color, but now thinking in hindsight, he does like to wear his mustard yellow turban a lot, and many of his profile pictures would have him wearing that color particularly. So it's now etched in my brain. I'm like, yeah, now I know my father a little bit more. Now I know the boy that is in him who's waiting for someone who'd ask him this question, who'd ask him his favorite color. Okay, the problem now is that I needed to record these poems as well, but I forgot to press record. So what I will do is I am so forgetful that I'm gonna make a note for myself. So before I end this live stream, or perhaps after ending the live stream, I'm going to record the 2 poems. Record. Am I just that? Dude, I am. And record. What's your dad's favorite color? I think it is this poem that I would like to recite at the open mic poetry night. Either this, or I guess I still have some time, 15 more minutes. Can probably share one more poem, which is the second contender for the poem that I might recite. Where is it? Why don't I see it here? Here it is. Yeah, this is a personal one as well. Not like any of the other was not personal. All the poems are personal. Poetry is meant to be personal. Someone somewhere once said the most personal is the most creative, which is something that I do live by. One out of breath brother. One bag, one suitcase, and one tiny big brother. Here's your suitcase. Thanks, he said. Bye, I said, with one awkward smile. One hug I never gave. Stood 2 unfortunate brothers. Should I come to the bus stand too? Yes, he said. Okay, I said. Let me get 1 pair of shoes, 1 umbrella for 2 in the hands of 1 growing little brother. Check the bus's time. 4 minutes, it says. Shit, I forgot my backpack. Not looking back was 1 bigger brother who ran, 1 smaller who stood at the stand, 1 anxious, other a helpless observer. I looked farther road on my pinky toes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Did the bus leave? No, I simply said, looking for 1 bus that never came, 1 suitcase rolling in the rain, and 1 out of breath brother. He hid his gasps well, the strong stoic never fell. Is this the cursed big brother spell? I looked away and quietly asked myself, well, oh well. When's the next bus? 4 minutes, it says. Okay, he said. I replied. Then there was 1 half wet left arm, 1 half damp right arm, and 2 almost touching shoulders. That is the other poem that I have. The more personal these poems get, the less I have to say about them after having recited them. Yeah. I guess I'll just let it sit for a while. So the idea behind this poem was obviously the moment that my brother left. He left the country, and the idea that I don't like to see my loved ones being out of breath, both physically and figuratively, metaphorically. And that day he was both out of breath, figuratively and physically, which triggered this poem, I guess. Yeah. So that's that. We still have 10 more minutes. So I'm just gonna put the timer. I'm just gonna yap for like 10 minutes and we'll see. No, I don't want to. Wait, how do I make the... Okay. Yeah, 12 minutes till the new year. Okay, there is someone who is watching this right now. I don't know who this guy or girl is. I think I should ask them to reveal themselves. Hey, you. I'm looking at you. Tell me who you are, please. I hope you're having a good new year. Just gonna enjoy my biscuit for 10 minutes. It's too crumbly. What do I even do for 10 more minutes? You know, it's fine. I can end early. You can have your own New Year's at your own time. I don't know what to do for 10 more minutes. Do I have any more? I do have some more poetry to recite. You know what? Let me just recite the Silence trilogy. Do I have all the silences here? I don't have all the silences here. Only have one of the silence. This is an essay. Too big. Wait, this was my second poem. Maybe I can recite this. This is a short little poem. I don't read books, but I did read a book that I really liked, and I was sad that it was going to be when the book would end and I would lose the voice of the author in my head. So I procrastinated, or I just avoided reading the last chapter of the book I loved, and that's why this is called The Last Chapter. For the longest time I could not read the last chapter of the book I loved. Book with no characters that may die, no plot twists, no endings to ruin. The book has no narrative, no beginning, no middle, and no possible end. Yet the most beautiful story is perhaps the book itself. The writer whose words I gave my voice, gave my attention, lent my mind, and shared my soul with the long dead and unknown still. Reading the last chapter will kill the already dead in his body, but not the soul, for that is now shared among us both. Dumb me still fears the quiet. When I turn the last page over, my ears will ring with no sound, just stupid emotions. Forget everything that I said above, because fuck it, I'll read the last chapter of the book I love. And then I did read the last chapter of the book I love, and it was terrible, because then the book ended and that author had no other books that I could read, and he was actually dead by the time I got to know of him. So that's that. Let me quickly do this. Yay. And I will find the silence poems for you. And then it'll be New Year by then, hopefully. Oh, found it. Can I make this bigger? Don't think I can. Yeah, you can still read it. That's good enough. Silence. Summer vacation, cousins playing, yelling and shouting, the oohs, the ahs, hooting and screaming, the whoos, the ha's. Time to go home, comes the no's, the na's. Then silence. Ride back home, silent. Humming engine, rumbling road, silent. Echoes of the never-ending screams, silent. Scattered thoughts in lost streams, silent. Following silence. Piercing silence, somber silence, then just silence. It's summer vacation. The annual Scream Olympics is about to begin. The grown-ups are reluctantly there in support of their home screamers. Vocal warm-ups have begun. 2 kids are screaming synchronized. One is crying her lungs out. Many screams are high-pitched, some low, some screams scientists say we've never heard before. The air is filled with a potent cacophony of sounds that can make your heart race, head dizzy, and soul cry. Ah, I cannot take it anymore, shouts a mom. Everyone in the car now. Then silence. Ride back home, silent. Humming engine, rumbling road, silent. Everyone's so quiet, says the mom, but in silence. Echoes of the never-ending screams, silent. Scattered thoughts in lost streams, silent. Following silence. Piercing silence. Somber silence. Then just silence. Run, run faster, you idiot. Honk, hey, watch out, you idiot. Woof, careful a dog, you idiot. No, no, I'll be late, you idiot. Hands in the pocket, bag slamming. Check, 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 you idiot. Wallet check, phone check. Earphones. Earphones, no, no, no. Ah, you forgetful idiot, idiot. Then silence. Window seat, eyes out, silence. Thank you, driver, someone shouts. Silence. Moving bus, mountains, clouds, never still, yet silent, still silence. No drowning music, silence. Odd silence. Sound all around, still silence. Then just silence. Is it still time? 4 minutes. Why not? Let me just share one more. There's so many. Oh no. Let's see. Where is that one? Big World. Let's end with an optimistic poem. Optimistic before the New Year's. Big World. The world seemed bigger when I was not. The sky was bluer, smiling, green of the grass, inviting, the fiery evenings oddly quieting. Stars were closer, so infinitely lot. The world was bigger when I was not. Mind was freer, still chattered less. Creativity was a friend with her gentle caress. Thoughts were clearer, yet mattered less. Feelings more honest, there was a mask not. The world seemed bigger when I was not. When problems looked scarier, worry was not. Legs would shake, steps stopped not. Voice might quiver, but words never caught. Life was gracefully swift, not frantically fast. I was freer when the thought of freedom plagued me not. Twig-like stature would snap not, stance was heroic, and humility it had caught. I was more honest when the burden to be was not. The world will be bigger when I will be not. I was happier when being happy was not a thought. The world seemed bigger when I was not. 2 more minutes. Let's go back. Yay. I'll finish. Took me 1 whole year to finish this biscuit. Happy New Year. Oh, it did. Oh wow. There was confetti here as well. Yay. And I already see firecrackings going off outside my house. So yay. Happy New Year. And yeah, thank you for just staying here and giving me company while I recited my poems. And you have a good 2026. You have a happy, healthy, and creative 2026 ahead. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next year. Yeah, that. I'll see you then.